What's up, YouTube? I was surprised by that last video, how many views we got on that. That was awesome. Thanks everyone who watched that, who came back for this one. And, just going home from the gym again, the local Planet Fitness. I was listening to a couple different podcasts today. A short one with Jordan Peterson, who I think is really cool. And he was talking about like salespeople and marketing and stuff. And, I mean, salespeople are. I think sales is, and this is my opinion, I think sales is such a good skill to learn, and that's definitely at the top of my list for skills to learn, because like if you can sell, then you know how valuable you are to any company, because you're the one who's bringing in the money for them. So I think if you're going to learn a skill, learn sales, and that's what I'm going to go and try and learn, hopefully. That's my plan. But anyways, I was listening to him, and he's talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and then listening to Hamza again. Hang on. Okay, anyways, where were we? So we're talking about what we were listening to at the gym today, and I also listened to some more Hamza, and he was talking about the characteristics of $10,000 a month entrepreneurs. And man, I'm just totally blanking out now, but anyways, we'll go to this. I was thinking about how, if you hang around some like older people who have some money, kind of notice different things. And one thing I noticed just recently is like they're all really clean. Like their houses are super organized, and if they make a mess, they clean it right up. So I would say that's a good characteristic of wealthier people. But then I was watching on the plane, the last plane ride I went on, coming back from California, I was watching Crazy Rich Asians, right? And obviously it's a movie, so who knows how much of that is real. But anyways, there was like, the biggest part is this guy that is from Singapore, I think it is, and his family is like the richest family in all of Singapore, and he lives in America by himself because he likes the independence, and he doesn't want to be related to his family in any way, like tied to his family, like he doesn't not want to be related. But anyways, and he finds this girl in America, and she has no idea about his family, and so he really likes that about her, that she just likes him for him. But anyways, in the family, when they go to visit them, his mom is talking to the girl and was like, "You're not a good fit for this family because you're from America, and Americans only care about themselves and what makes them happy. Where over here in Asia, we care about our whole family, and we're trying to build something. Like everything we do has a purpose, and we're trying to build this thing up for our family." And that really got me thinking, and I thought it was really interesting because like it's true in America it's really individual. Like people do things for themselves, by themselves, without a lot of team, right? And like Andrew Tate, he has his big network group that he always talks about, the War Room, and like I think obviously from listening to him and other people, other rich people, they all have this giant network of people to help them out and to build things together, and they're constantly feeding off of each other's energy and building each other's energy, building each other up, and they're focused on the same thing. They're building something. Where like most people in America nowadays, they're focused on only what they want and their happiness. And it's all starting to make sense now. Like obviously that was a movie that I was talking about. It was a movie, so who knows how real it is, but it makes sense because when you think of all these really like the highest wealthy people you can think of, the highest levels, they all know people. Like, they have big networks. They know people. They know other people with money. They talk to other people with money. That's like the only people they talk to are people with money. So it's just some food for thought I had while I was at the gym, and I thought I'd share. And that also goes back to the education system, where, I mean, I think it's a different mindset you have, and they have you studying for these tests which are only for you. Very rarely you have a group project, and when you do, it's hard to get a group that works together to actually do it, where everyone does their part. And then in the end, it's something that doesn't really mean much because it's just a school project. So anyways, just some food for thought. And if anyone watches this one, anyone coming back from that last one, thanks for watching. And oh yeah, let me know if I should keep the beard or not. Check it out. Leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I thought I was going to end the video there, but I just drove down to the lake, live a couple, maybe like one or 2 miles away from the lake. I don't know, I see my sister driving down here. Anyways, they're talking about rich people and their habits and stuff, and one thing I noticed one day is when I was driving, my dad had to use the truck or something one day, and I was driving the Tesla down here because during the winter I used to drive down to the lake every day on my way home just to see what was going on down there, and because I didn't want to go home yet, because anyways, but one thing I noticed is that when you go down to the lake, there was people there who just sit in their cars and look at it because it's winter and it's snowy and rainy and cold. But especially now, when people go down there in the summer to go swimming and just hang out and sit on the beach and stuff, is you rarely ever see any nice cars down there. So that had me thinking, like, why do I drive down here if there's no one down there that, like, if the people that I'm trying to be like aren't down there, then why do I keep going down there? So I guess you just gotta, I don't know if it's helped me at all, but that just noticing my behavior and then connecting it to who I'm trying to be, who I want to be when I'm older, and just making a change. I feel that's probably pretty important. I don't know if I haven't really noticed a big change yet just from that one decision, but if you constantly do that, I'm sure that'll add up over the days, and the different behaviors that you do, you start noticing things that you're doing that people around you who you're not trying to be like. And that's one thing too, is like, everyone gives me advice, because just graduating high school, getting into the real world, everyone has something to say. Everyone tells me something. Everyone has a story, right? And one thing that I've learned is look at the people that are telling it to you. And if you want your life to be like theirs in the aspect that they're telling you about, then follow their advice. But if you don't, if you're not trying to be like the person who you're talking to, then I don't know, why would you follow their advice? Because, like, you can only help the person that you used to be, really. When you give anyone advice, when anyone gives you advice, just remember that you can only help the person that you used to be. And I got that one from Ed Milet on the Jay Shetty podcasts, which that one's a good one, The Power of One More and stuff. And his dad just was a drunk, and someone helped him who used to be a drunk and an addict, and that saved his life, and it turned his life around, and he was able to help him because he used to be that person. So just remember that when talking to people. And that's one thing too, I guess we'll save that for another video, but I'll kind of touch on it, is just talk to people. It's not a bad thing to hear other people's advice. Then you can look at what they did, what their stance is on things, and you can tailor it to your own life. And I mean, everyone's got something, and just learn from people. Be a learner. Learn every day. Never stop learning. Because that's one thing too, graduating, is I used to hate the idea of learning because I always tied it to school. But then, who is it? What's his name? Mark Twain? I think it was Mark Twain, in his quote, "I never let my schooling get in the way of my education." Just remember that. So if you're not learning, if you're not growing like a tree, if a tree isn't growing, then it's dying. So if you're not learning, then what are you doing, right? So just keep that in mind. And that's one thing I'm changing in my life now. Starting to notice a huge difference, actually, with the people I talk to and the opportunities I'm getting. So keep your eyes open, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next one.